Going too fast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to take this time to thank you all for coming out this evening. My name is Cynthia Ross, and I'm going to take a few moments of your time to give you a little bit more information on counterfeit goods and the impact that they have. I will also give you a few tips on how to protect yourself from counterfeiting and piracy, and what your options are when you encounter these goods. Now, if you take a moment to look at my slideshow that I brought, the real about counterfeit goods. Just what is counterfeit goods, also known as knockoffs? A copy or imitation of something that is intended to be taken as authentic and genuine in order to deceive another. Now we're going to review the top 10 counterfeit goods. The first is electronics. The value of counterfeit seized last year alone was $39 million, which stopped an income of $102 million. The next on our list is shoes. The value of this counterfeit seized is $25.3 million, with a retail value of $97 million. So that's $97 million that's been taken out of our economy due to counterfeit goods. Again, drugs. This particular industry had a value of $16.9 million alone last year, with a retail value of $25.2 million, which is missing out of our economy as of today. Next, we have the famous CDs and DVDs. The value that was seized last year was $15.6 million, which had us in a deficit with our economy by $35 million. That's more money that we could have put in our economy when we're out here looking for money and things of that nature. Another hot item is clothing. Last year alone, $14.8 million were seized. $126.3 million is missing as far as for investors, people that create the clothing line like Tommy Hilfiger, Mr. Hilfiger never received any of that $14.8 million, and then the loss of the $126.3. My apologies. The next is perfume. Last year alone, $9.5 million, with a retail value of $51 million. So that means Britney didn't get all her money. That means Nicki Minaj didn't get all her money. And it is a big problem. Watches. The counterfeit seized last year was $8.4 million, with a retail value of $112.7 million. Another is cigarettes. Yes, believe it or not, there is counterfeit cigarettes. I see all your faces, but yes, there is counterfeit cigarettes. And last year alone, $8.2 million were seized, and $10.9 million in retail that's missing. Once you take how this number comes to be, this is what they sold it for with the so-called hookup price. And this is what it should have retailed. So either way it go, it's missing because they didn't get the money because the people went and got the so-called knockoff cigarettes. And nobody's winning. The next one is computer hardware. The value of the confiscated last year alone was $7.8 million, with a retail value of $22.6 million. Toys and games. Now, this was kind of new to me, but they're missing within the toy industry, Mattel and things of that nature, Disney. It's anywhere from $26.9 million that they're losing in revenues because of the counterfeit merchandise. Now that we've gone over the top things that are the top goods that are being counterfeited, let's talk about the effects of these counterfeit items. First of all, it's illegal. Second, it threatens legitimate American businesses. Also, counterfeit goods places a threat on the economy through investors. Investors become scared of not seeing a return on their investment due to the large problem and choose not to invest. And don't forget, we're a country that thrives and we stand on our investments. Counterfeit goods also present physical harm and hazards due to the lack of quality control. There's no quality control. It's somebody somewhere, could be in a hut or anything, concocting these pills, perfumes, nail polishes. One thing that I pulled up when I was looking through for the Surgeon General and through U.S. Customs, they had an article in there. They were speaking about the counterfeit cigarettes and how real cigarettes, they burn out. It's like a safety mechanism to them. When you sit them down, they burn out. But the counterfeit cigarettes don't do that, and they've been known to have brick powder inside of them. So just be careful when you're out there thinking you're getting a hookup or a deal. It's not always what you think it is. It also cuts jobs. U.S. Customs reported that in 2012, 85% of counterfeit goods confiscated came from China. So while we're not making made-in-American t-shirts and things of that nature, they're making all this counterfeit stuff in China and bringing it over, which is stopping us from getting jobs because we're not making the clothes. We're not helping out with the real perfumes and the real CDs. So it does affect our job market. Now, let's talk about 10 ways to protect yourself against counterfeit and piracy. The first thing you need to do is scrutinize labels and packages. And if you see up here, I have fake versus real, and as you see, you can barely tell just with a skim of an eye. So it's recommended that you scrutinize all labels and packages. Second, seek authorized retailers. My apologies. You know Gucci is not sold in Walmart. It's just like common sense. You need to put two and two together. If you know Louis Vuitton is not going to be selling his purses on a corner or in some lady named Chanel or China's boutique. They have authorized realtors for those things. And there is a website that I'll give you at the end of this to let you know how to check and where to go to report and to find things out of that nature. Next you need to do is watch for missing sales tags. Most people that have an item that's selling it, they pay taxes, so they are going to turn that tax over to you for you to pay that tax too. So anytime that you see something that somebody's, oh, no tax, just kind of give it a second glance. Insist on a secure transaction. And the reason why you're going to insist on a secure transaction is because that's a way for you to get your funds back. If anything happens, you have a paper trail, you can find things out. And if you notice, PayPal is a great way to do transactions. Seek quality assurance in the secondary market. And what this is, it's more like a compare and contrast. Sometimes you need to put the real from the first market up against what you're buying out of the secondary market, which is a little less expensive. Some people buy secondhand things and things of that nature. But it's always good to do a compare and contrast just to make sure. Report possible spam and faulty products. Most products have quality, like a quality insurance behind it. That's why they're able to be on the market in the United States. They have guidelines and stipulations. So if you got products that's kind of falling apart and faulty, you might want to relook at that situation to make sure that you have the real thing. Be vigilant when buying abroad. Pay attention to what you're buying. You know, some people be out of the country or far away from home and they see something, oh, they don't sell that here, they don't sell that where I'm from. Most of the time they don't sell it anywhere because it's not real. So just be careful when you see those super different things in locations while you're out and about shopping and vacationing. Teach your kids about counterfeit because kids are great to to buy things on a spur of the moment. They do things like that. So you just got to educate your kids to let them know what they're buying and things of that nature so they don't get caught up in situations like that. Warn your family and friends about illegitimate product sources. Facebook is a great way to blast somebody. If they're selling the wrong thing, you need to let people know because you know how you felt when you got that wrong item. Trust your instincts, people. Trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, most of the time it's not right. If it doesn't look right, most of the time it's not right. So always remember that. And also, how we will conclude this, I will give you, this is the information to how you can report counterfeit goods and piracy. There's one place, the Consumer Product Safety Commission. the phone number and the website that you all have in your pamphlets that I passed out earlier, and the National Intellectual Property Rights Coordination Center, which is also in the pamphlet that I gave you guys earlier. Well, thank you so much for coming out and staying in this presentation with me. I appreciate it a lot. You guys have a great day.